welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
And it is almost the new year. 2024 is flying away. I got ahead of myself.
Yeah, 2025 will do the same thing.
2025 is flying in.
Is coming in to fly away soon. Anyway.
Today's the 28th, right?
Right, today's 28th. So
Saturday.
by the time you see this, it'll just be a few days of the year left. And I've been thinking a lot about the new year, about kind of what I want to do, what I don't want to do. And the fact that 2024 is already gone, which is mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. But we're still here. I was thinking about that too. This is our 4th December, right, that we've done? Because we started in 2020.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all have been with us for 4 years, and I was thinking about that this morning because I was with my aunt getting the Cokes, and she was like, I don't know what she asked me, but I was like, no, it's a thing. And I was like, how many Diet Cokes have we had? This is episode, what, this is episode 205?
Enough that McDonald's should sponsor us.
For real, they should pay us money. I just had it open. Yeah, this is episode 205. So for sure we've had
a couple hundred.
612 Diet Cokes at least on the air.
Well, one time we had Dutch.
One time, yeah. That's what I was telling my aunt. I was like, only one time in these 4 years have we had something besides a Diet Coke. Okay, so that's 611. No, 609 Diet Cokes.
And that doesn't even include Eli's.
Oh yeah, and Eli's had a bunch too. So
yeah.
So that's a lot of Diet Coke. Bold of you
I
to
should
assume that's.
I should ask the franchise. Do you want to sponsor us? We have your product on our.
Here, where's the logo? There it is, McCafe. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
But it's not as though that's the only Diet Coke we drink, right? Yeah. Don't be fooled that we have Diet Coke once a week. Well, I do, because I drink Diet Pepsi. I'm a Diet Pepsi girl.
And Beth and I are practically live over at Dutch.
So, we hope your Christmas was great. Ours was really, really nice. And we have some things to talk about that. But I think Beth's going to go first with her stitching stuff.
So, for those of you doing WIP-GO, this is my WIP-GO board. And this little white square here is the one I'm working on right now. But otherwise, I've done them all. I hit the goal on all of them, and I have like.
Oh, that's your WIP-GO board for 2024?
2024.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
I'll talk about my 2025 one in a minute. For December, I did the rabbit thing and finished the series of them in this month. Number 7 was my number 7 and number 20 were the numbers called for this month. So I did the rabbit December, which finished the series for me finally, and then the deep waters that I showed last week. I hit the goal on that, and so the number 20. One of my secondary goal was this Prairie Schooler Starry Night, and all I had left to do on this one was the Wise Men, and I finished that. And this is a little bit more involved just because it's just a lot more stitching, a lot of black, a lot of gold, a lot of blue, but they're all finished, the Wise Men. And so this then means I finished this series, the Starry Night series. So they're all done. Now I just have to cut them apart and finish them, which is another story in itself.
You're going to make those into ornaments?
Yeah.
Well, you have a year.
What?
You have a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this year I was like, we could get just a small tree pre-lit and just not put any ornaments or anything on it because we don't have any. And then next year we can just put
More cross-stitch.
cross stitch ornaments on it because the one we bought was so small. Beth didn't really fit, and she made a lot more. And
Yeah.
there was a last one that was the display model. At half price, they wouldn't give me any more for it being display. It was $70. I'm like, no. Nope.
And so the other one, my main WIP was the raccoon. This is a Cottage Garden Samplings part of their Year of the Woods series. And so this is the last one, and I think I started on it on, I don't know, today's like 7 days will be the 31st. So I started working on this one, and all I had when I started it was these two little pink flowers, and I already made a boo-boo, and I'm debating whether or not, part of me, it's like, it really doesn't, as we say in our family, it don't hurt to run in any. This flower here on the side, the green frond stem of it, it's actually off by one stitch. So, because this is supposed to be the outer edge of the design, and and when I was counting off of this pink flower, and I did not have this, there's a little darker thread that goes through it and comes down, and I didn't have that thread. I couldn't put my hands on it right away, but I wanted to start on this, so I started with this green frond, and I thought I counted right, and I counted wrong. And so when I found the browner thread here to go on it, I was like, I'd stitched the middle of it, and then I was coming down, and it didn't line up right with the stem, and I was like, what happened? And so I realized, what I had done. But so I thought, well, do I pull it out? Do I fix it? Do I not? So for now, I'm leaving it. Because I fudged it a little bit, and it doesn't really, impact anything in the main design. But so when I went to start the raccoon body, and that's what this lump in thing is, I counted off of this pink flower, because the pink flower is in the right place theoretically, and so I counted off of it to place it. So hopefully it'll all be in the right place, because that's a lot of stitching, and I ain't pulling that out for sure. And I don't know if anything goes all the way to the edge of the design. There's another flower on the other side of the raccoon that bumps up by the edge. But if it turns out that this body is in the wrong place, then it can. There's some wiggle room on that side. But his tail is supposed to be under here, like all the way on the far edge of the design. So we'll see how that works out. But right now, that's as far as I've gotten. So, but like I said, if I stitch a little bit every day from now to the end of the year, I'll hit the goal. So that's the end of my 2024 goals. So for 2025, I'm doing the what people have talked about, 25 and 25. I'm doing 25 new starts in 2025, but I'm also doing 25 WIPs. So for the new starts, I'm not really setting any goal of one thread or whatever. I'm just going to do what I can do. But my WIP-GO, my WIP goals are still are for the most part, almost all of them are 7 days. I just left that because then it leaves me, a week for each project, and then 2 weeks for whatever else comes up, right? For cross-stitch camp, for other things like that. But then also, a few days at least to do a little bit of a new start. The one thing I haven't not done yet is go through all my fabrics to make sure I have an appropriate fabric. I have a bunch of undyed fabrics, and I would like to be able to dye them if, it's a dog, if at all possible. And I may have to borrow Naomi's plastic thing that she made for her.
So you can come over and dye at my house.
And I may have to borrow your dye too, because I was thinking, I think I want to dye this blue, but I don't know if I have a blue piece of fabric that's the appropriate size, and I kind of don't think I do, so I may end up dyeing
You can come to my house and dye your fabric.
for my January start. But anyway, so
How the
finally,
tides have turned.
yes, I finally did my my 2025 WIP-GO board, and it's already got like little water splatters on it. I don't know who if I dripped on it or if one of my cats dripped on it. Because Snug has a tendency to go and drink water, and he'll have water on his chin like this, and he'll get up on my bed and he'll shake his head, and
This last one, Helen D said the cat had been upstairs and all that, and she hadn't come downstairs. She didn't give the cat a water thing, and then she's like,
and the cat stuck her face. The cat stuck her face in the water, in Helen's water.
in Helen's water.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah. So for each of these squares, I have a WIP with, most of them have a goal of 7 days. That one doesn't have a goal on it. I didn't put a goal on. And then the new starts. And so, and also down here, I have, because I actually ran out of WIPs. Because most of my, a lot of my WIPs are in storage, yeah.
Oh,
So I had, I didn't have 25, of standard, because I actually finished things. I think I have had 35 finishes this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I did was, on the bottom here, the end of my board, I have these in blue, but what they are is they're technically new starts, but they're also part of a series. So, like my number 20 call is Black Cat Season. The numbers for January are number 20, oddly enough, and number 11.
Would have been funny if it was 20 and 25.
Number 20 and number 11. So number 20 is is part of the Black Cat Season, ongoing little bell pull that Lindy Stitches designed. And so I had started it when she came up with the design. I was very excited, but then I kind of stalled out. So, but this is the number 5 pattern, and it's called Good Luck. See a black cat, pick it up. All day you'll have good luck, right? So I started this one, I don't know, back in October, I guess, or whenever I worked on it last. So this is my number 20 WIP, but as part of my to finish out my WIP-GO board, I have this, which is technically, you could call it a WIP because it's part of this ongoing series, but technically it would be a new start because I haven't started this one yet. So, but anyway, so it's on my WIP.
so are you going to count it as both?
I'm counting it as a WIP.
No, as the 25 and 25?
No.
You're counting it as that?
No. No, because I have 25 new starts. So this is going to be a WIP. So this is the number 6 of this series, and it's just called Black Cat Season. So yeah, so that is technically a WIP, even though it's a new start. It's both. But my number 11 is this owl trio that I started whenever. I hope I have the needle somewhere because it's not on here. But so this is really almost finished. I have back stitching to do and to finish this border. But I think the owls themselves are done except for the back stitching. So my goal on this one is to finish it. And this is a Dimensions kit. And it came with, it came with this blue Ada, which is the color, which is good because I don't stitch on white anymore. I have a compulsion to dye everything. But so hopefully I'll be, I'm showing you the back, sorry. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this. This is
So cute.
my number 11, and it's kind of bent because I haven't. So my number 20 and number 11 new starts, I kind of manipulated this a little bit because I wanted to start this one. So I because I already knew the numbers before when I was putting my board together. So I manipulated it so that this would be one of my new starts. This is what I used for the majority of my new starts for 2025 were all the new patterns that I bought at the Jingle Ball. And I had a few that I had purchased since we put everything in storage. A couple of the Statehood series, one called Frostbite, it's a little whitey snowman, and a few other things. And then I also have, I'll get to that in a second. So my number 20 is Dust of Snow, which is this Lindy Stitches one. It's a part of it's a quote from Robert Frost poem, I think. I have that's written here somewhere, but anyway, it's the way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I rued. So I loved this the minute I saw it, and it's a little bit largish, 157 by 142. So it's a little bit on the big side, but it's really, really pretty, and I just love that poem and just the design itself. So that's one of my new starts. That's my number 20.
You do need blue fabric for this.
Yeah. And then my number 11 is this Teresa Kogut freebie, Our Favorite Elf, which is a little one of her Santas. It's really cute. And so this one, I probably have a fabric that'll work for that, but I haven't checked my fabric inventory. But so this one it's charted in all DMC threads, and I want to say it's not too big. It's 52 by 94, so it's not really as it probably is a lot of red stitching though. And this one is charted in silks, but it has a DMC alternative list, and that's what I'm using. So I'll be doing that all in DMC. And so, so the other thing that I'm doing on my WIP-GO, my new starts, is two of the things that I bought. I think one of them I bought it was a Twin Peak Primitives set that I bought as Just Keep Stitching's, their pattern of the week kind of promotion that they do. Twin Peak Primitives came out, I think it was at National Needle Market or one of those things. They came out with the design called Quirky Animals, I think, and that was a big hit. And I kind of, I kind of like those a lot, but I didn't purchase the pattern. But then in the fall, I think, they came out with a design called Quirky Christmas. So I don't remember how many designs. I think there's maybe 9 or something. Christmas designs with little animals, whatever. So I didn't put specifically which ones, but I put Quirky Christmas and just a little asterisk so that I know that. So I think I have it just twice on this board. So that means I'll just pick a design from that Quirky Christmas set and do that as my new start. And then I also have, I think I have just once, no, twice, the Jingle Bell Baubles, the little Jingle Bell ornament book that came out, and it has 12 designs in it. And so I just have that listed twice with a little asterisk, meaning I'm just going to choose one design from that set to do as a new start. And then I also have those animal crackers on here. So yeah, it's going to be a fun year, I think, working on all those.
For me, it's gonna be an expensive year, making all those new starts and trying to find bags to put them in. Oh, wait a minute, maybe not.
That's another story. So that is my, and like I said, I don't have all my upcoming things, but I am going to talk about all that on my update. So if you want to see all the things I'm going to be working on next year, you can watch my update.
On her channel, is what
Yeah.
she means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all this. I wanted to talk about a little bit of haul, not that later. But I just have a little bit of haul to talk about. If I can get that here. We went to Target for some things, and while I was there, I couldn't resist. This is in their dollar section. There's just a little chalkboard thing that I thought, that's a good, as I always say, that's a good finishing item.
It comes with chalk.
Yeah, and then one of my Christmas presents was a gift card to Hobby Lobby, and I burned right through it. So I bought myself a little pouch, little corduroy pouch, like I bought before, and I bought a bunch of threads. And this is for Dust of Snow and My Favorite Elf, because I figure I probably have, like, this is a skein of 310. Of course, I've got a whole bunch of that, but you know, you can never have too much of this because you use it all the time. But I went ahead and bought them all because you know, that way I don't have to go hunting around to find them. I just know that they're already there for those patterns. So I just went ahead and bought it. And like I said, I had that gift card burning a hole in my pocket. So, but then also, I don't want to get to those. I have some gift cards from friends and everybody. But so yeah, I do want to talk about some of them because this is just from my friend Grace. There's one of these in here that was from a viewer, and I wanted to make sure. Yeah, from Judy Stone. So this one, I wanted to show because it has a little pop.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, so it has a real pretty little
That's cute.
thing in the front here, Santa and his sled, and then it has a little pop thing in it. So that's really cute. That's from Judy Stone, was a viewer, and then a couple more from some friends of mine. My friend Howard. Oh, and then this one. And I think I took. Did I take the? No, it's here. This is from one of my cousins. So this little card, and she included in it a photo that she found. And this is my dad and my grandmother. And she goes, I don't know who that other person in the photograph is. That's my dad's, he was my dad's band director when my dad was in elementary school, Mr. Higgins, and had a music camp that we all went to. And so he's in this picture. And there's a picture of me when I was in college and like did the,
That's
80s.
after one of your recitals.
Yeah, that's after my junior recital in college.
Nice.
You can see the blue eyeshadow and the big hair and everything else. But anyway, so that was kind of fun. She came across that and sent it to me. But the other thing was part of my Jingle Ball purchases. Teresa Kogut sent these Santa stickers. So these finally came in the mail the other day. So they're just just the little 4 little Christmas Santa stickers.
Oh, those are really pretty.
Yeah, those are really cute Teresa Kogut style stickers.
They might need to decorate your blue box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to now think about, where am I going to put those?
No, it'll probably get
My
covered
laptop.
it'll probably get covered in Dutch stickers.
Yeah. But the other thing is, I didn't want to show this before because I didn't want to give away Naomi's tip yarn and fiber gift that Eve had bought me. But so while Eve was looking for she got her a gift card to Tempe Yarn and Fiber. So while she was perusing
And waiting, they ran out of gift cards. I had to
Oh.
wait while they went and made some more.
When I gave everybody the mutt stickers, I saved this one for myself. This is this is Love Them All. So it's an elephant, the Mutt's crew, and some other animals. But while I was at Tempe Yarn and Fiber, I bought these little buttons. There's some butterflies, and there's some sheep.
Those aren't butterflies.
I mean, ladybugs.
Those are
Ladybugs.
ladybugs.
Ladybugs, that's what I was trying to say.
She doesn't know her insect.
And there's some sheep. And the reason I bought these ladybugs was for my festive forest, that little muffin thing. You know, you have to put like some kind of decoration on top.
Yeah.
And I thought that's kind of fun
That's
to go with
You don't
this.
have to, but they want you
Well, yeah. And the sheep I just bought because they're cute. But I also bought these lobster sticker scissors.
Let me see. Oh, how funny. Cute.
Yeah, so,
Scissor addict.
yeah. And I bought them because now I have this little
We'll talk about
container we'll talk about later. So,
that. Is that you?
that is me and all my giant mess.
Oh my gosh, what a mess. Now it's Eve's turn.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but I was grinning pretty brightly over here. So, hold on, I'm putting a thread. As
While you're
best-
putting your thread, I'm gonna
Make noise.
crinkle this bag and get it out of the way.
So, there were a couple of days this week when I did 0 stitching. Absolutely none.
Well, it was
I was,
Christmas.
I was like, I'm too tired. I just didn't. And then I was busy stitching on something else, so other than my gingerbread house. But as we sat here, I finished the stitching. Now I'm just doing back stitching.
Oh, nice.
For this is the second side for my gingerbread house. Hopefully, by next week,
You'll have a house.
I'll have a house made. Yeah. So I was grinning because there is a ton of back stitching on these, but I've done 3 of these little things now. So it's supposed to be pink, red, yellow, blue, green, teal, whatever that color is, and then yellow, red. I missed the green one. And so I went ahead and just put it at the end and said, I don't care. The green one's supposed to be right here by the yellow one.
Oh.
And I just did these 2 and realized, oh, I forgot that one. So I put it in. And then
Santa's not going to come to your house because your gumdrops in the wrong order.
Well, he already did. I think I talked last week how this lollipop was in the wrong order and I had to frog the whole freaking thing out and put it back.
Oh, no.
Also, this yellow one was off because this was in the wrong place. But
It's done.
I'm finally working on the back stitching. So, and I'll just continue working on the back stitching while I have no room. Sorry, I'm going to flatten this so that I can function. Okay, the reason that I was not getting done on that is because I mentioned this charitable pattern by Patricia, can't pronounce her last name, Dagi, I don't know, Daege, and Marina Ryzhenchenko, and they're cross-stitching for fun. And I just flashed the pattern to you last time, and I was really, really hoping that I could finish. I did not, but I came very, very close.
Oh, wow.
And, sorry, I didn't bother cutting the fabric because, you know, why? And so, the problem is that black and white pattern, I have it in color on my tablet, but if I use the juice just to look at something that I could look at the black and white thing for, you know,
Yeah.
it's not like it was something that I could that I could put in Pattern Keeper. It wouldn't go in. So, because most of it's backstitch. So, when I was stitching this down here, that's not supposed to be that color. I bought the colors suggested, except for the tulle here. I mean the
Shiny?
what is it called? It's a wall.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Kreinig, but this right here is supposed to be this color, and this here is supposed to be there. And I realized after I did all of the stitching past the cross, it was halfway through the nativity, and I went, I got those colors switched. The numbers are very, very close, and I was working in black and white, and you really can't see, it's little black squares, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And I looked at the color thing when I went to do the word Jesus, right? And I did that in the right color. Yeah, so anyway, and then I looked at it and I said, I like it like that. And even if I didn't, I would leave it there. Because by that point, no. No. It doesn't hurt the running any. So, yeah. And then, sorry, grab this stuff. It finally got cold for 2 days. Okay, FYI, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. But it did get cold for 2 days.
It was chilly when we were coming.
Yeah, but I mean, I just went outside to bring the cans in. I was fine, in shorts and a t-shirt.
But you got to change thread.
I got to change that. Look, 2 days that are blue.
Let me see.
But it's my understanding it's going to be warm again this week.
It's awful.
Yeah, so, but I got most of his legs, arms and legs on. I got his head on. I did all of this was yesterday. I did all the back stitching on these guys. It's not really called back stitching. I guess it's long stitches, whatever. I put his scales, they're not scales. What are they called? I don't know. The lines in his shell. And so I got that done yesterday, and by the time we see you next week, I will have had to start on mine. This is this is the one without his tails. I pulled the wrong one out of the bag.
That's your...
I designed this pattern under the sea temperature chart because I really like ocean stuff, as you will see later. But I decided, after talking last week, I made a a turtle and a lobster. I tried to make the lobster smaller to fit like down on the bottom or whatever, and I just couldn't, and have it still look like a lobster.
Let me see.
Unless it was all backstitched. As
Oh,
it is,
cute.
there's a lot of fractional stitches in that lobster.
Are
But
those antennas
Yeah, those are those big.
creepy?
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a lobster without
those
those.
big things.
I know. This is like
I almost put big ol' eyeballs on it.
it just kind of creeped me out for a second.
That's cool. I like it.
What I think I'm going to do is switch out the turtle for one of the what are these things called?
What?
I can't see.
Seahorse.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, and probably switch out one of the
Octopus.
octopus for lobster.
That's
But I'm just like, okay, that's better.
So that's just
And
included.
I just went ahead and inserted it in the, where you can download it and you
Yeah.
can choose it or not,
Yeah.
it's up to you. And then I had to, because the first is fast approaching, I could completely start it here, but I'm going to try to get some seaweed going before the first, so yay.
Yay.
I do still have to put
And if someone
ocean
wants to,
over here.
if someone wants to buy that temperature chart, it's available on our Etsy shop.
It is, including the extra pieces. And if you already bought it, email me, I'll send you the PDF
Cool. And
of the extra stuff.
in the description box, we have our link tree, and if you click on the link tree, it will take you, and then from there you can get right to our Etsy shop.
Right.
And to Beth's channel if you want to watch. And to your channel.
Yeah.
I don't have a channel yet.
My channel, my thing was like, I don't know, an hour long or something last time. Because it was all the whips that I was going to work on, and
That's fine.
I might have showed the new starts too, but no, I don't know. I don't remember. It was really long. Anyway, I didn't pull one of my things. I think I have it here, but one of the whips that was called for me. No, one of the whips that I put on my planner for what I wanted to work on in January is the DMC turtle, which doesn't have a picture, so I'm showing it here because it's far back and there's no way you can see it. But I will not be taking a picture. It's a free pattern available on DMC. However, I switched out or added to it lots of acrylic. I like shiny, and I made this one very shiny.
Super shiny.
He looks kind of like that crab in Moana.
That's all encrusted.
Yeah. When I came over here, I was like, I have everything. Did I take everything out? I'm sorry, I did not. I have too many bags now. Do you really ever have too many bags?
Well, that's the big question in my house.
Okay, so the second one for January is Cute Boots. This is designed by Joe Gattenby for X's and O's. And it says, when life is stormy, put on a pair of cute boots and dance in the rain. Now, I possess no boots. And it hardly ever rains here. But I like the sentiment because dancing in the rain is very fun.
That's such a cute pattern. Look at your cheeks.
Yeah, his cheeks are so cute. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Do you pull the cloth up and not the? Is it?
It's not in.
The actual stitchings are in there?
Yeah.
Is that under your paper?
You remember I had everything out?
Yeah.
Pause, please. Oh, wait. Here he is.
Okay.
I was going to be really sad if I had to go searching everywhere for him. I was like, why would I not put it together? This week I had all of everything out, trying to organize and decide and all that, and it was a nightmare. And that was before Christmas, I think. So here he is, starting on his legs and his little shoes.
Cute.
So cute. Sweet little face.
Yeah, this pattern is adorable, and it has a lot of threads. So like the blue hat isn't just like blue, it's got tons and tons of blues. And so I've been working on this pattern for like 4 years, a long time. I bought it a long time ago. As a matter of fact, in this thing, it probably has, when I purchased it, let me see.
'21.
Yeah, March 11th, 2021. It's only 3 years. But this is going on 4. Okay, so that was what I've chosen to concentrate on, and you can see concentrate for me. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
For me, concentrating is a loose term, but you know. So WIP-GO, I had my new starts, and sorry, what was called for me was yay. This is a Navajo rug. It's the series of rugs of the Southwest. And this is by Southwest Decoratives. And I bought this in New Mexico at a stitching store called The Secret Garden, I think. Beautiful shop, very friendly people there. And Beth happens to have the same pattern, and she has already started it. I don't care, I'm going to do it too. I already know how I'm going to finish it. It ain't going to be in any frame, okay? Mm-hmm. I want to finish it to look like a rug. So this is the fabric that I've chosen for it. They say the finished design based on 14 count Aida, but I found some 16 count Aida that is a really good color. This is
It's full coverage.
this is full coverage, but if I finish it the way I want to, which is having long fraying,
Oh, frayed, yeah. Mm-hmm.
so that I can make it look like little ties on the rug, you know. And then that might be put in a frame, but anyway. That is one of my WIP-GO calls. I have decided that my new starts I will be working on one day. I will work one day on them because I also have my things I want to concentrate on. But however much work I get in one day, whether it's one thread or, you know, lots of work. So one day on that. And then the other one that was called is the Autumn Basket hands-on design, and I already have as a WIP, which will come up later in the year, of the Summer Basket. And these, she calls them triple play pillows. She made seasonal for all 4, and she shows on her Flosstube channel how to finish them into a pillow like this. but that it's not closed permanently, so that you can take it off a pillow form and make it flat and put it away, and then
Oh, like a pillowcase there. Yeah. Okay.
right,
Yeah.
and then she even shows you how to make the pillow form the right size, to make your own pillow form for it. So I love these. They're very quilty looking, especially this one.
Yeah, that's what I like about them.
Yeah, and I have to do this in 14 count, because the summer ones, which I'm on the third one on the summer ones, are on 14 count. And I wanted a color similar to what's there, because I love the color play there. On the summer one, she had it on a similar fabric, or maybe the same fabric, and I chose like a seafoam green color to put it on, even though it was red, white, and blue. And you know, I don't necessarily always want to stick with that, but I wasn't sure. I didn't have a 14 count in the color I wanted in my stash. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I'm very disappointed in what Hobby Lobby has, but what they do have is considerably cheaper than what you can get other places. So, you know, there it is. I got 14 count Ada in ivory, or 28 count ivory, but they're not the same color. You know, one's slightly creamier than the other one. And so I'm going to put the flosses on it and decide which one I want to use. So this is creamier colored than this one.
Oh yeah, it's pink. It's pink to me, to my eyes.
Yeah, is it just
a
a different shade?
Dish.
Yeah, and that often happens, you know, when you see, you know, fabrics from professional dyeing companies, you know, the 28 count is a different color than the 32 count. And the 14 count is a very different color from either of those. And it's just how the fabric absorbs the dye. So,
Is that you?
I don't have any haul. That was all my haul. All I have is Christmas haul. Okay.
Christmas stuff.
Yeah. So, that's me.
Okay, so I worked on this cross stitch pretty exclusively. I was able to add in all the branches here. I don't remember how far I'd gotten. And I did take the frame down and around, and then started on this lower branch down here. And that other bird is going to go right here. This is from Hawk Run Hollow's, the Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and it's just one of the, I'll put up the picture. So I'm making this for Hannah, and I'm kind of going gangbusters. I don't know if I'd finished this bird last time.
I think it was not quite
It
finished.
was not quite finished, but I was able to finish it with the little
Oh,
beak
his
and
face.
everything. Yeah, his little eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm excited to put the white in. There's white along all these branches of snow, yeah. And then the big pine needles, which I might need help with. But anyway, so this is going gangbusters. And it has backstitch on this pine cone. I'm going to have to get a lesson in backstitching, because make sure I do it right. That's it. I think that's the only backstitch. And then there's long stitches for the pine needles. But anyway, this is coming along. And then, even though I told myself I wasn't going to start anything new, knitting wise, because I have 2 projects that are sitting there. I don't know why I got it in a wild hair that I wanted to make a tam, like a beret. And I found this pattern.
Excuse me.
I found this pattern called Simple Beret. I was looking. I had a book that's like like basic patterns for knitters. That's kind of like any yarn, any, gauge, how to do it. But the biggest size on the headband of the band of the head for a beret, or they call them a tam. It's the kind of hat that lays, when you lay it out, it's flat, right? And you can wear it with just the brim, and you can kind of wear it flat, or you can pull it down and it looks like this, like a hat. But they're flat like this, see? Anyway, but the widest the brim would go on that was 19 inches. I'm like, who has a 19-inch head? It was the large, quote unquote, size. I measured my head, and I don't think I have a big head, but it was like 21 inches. And I'm like, that's not normal. So anyway, I abandoned that, and I searched for a hat pattern. So I found this one called Simple Beret. I think I just showed it a second ago. She's wearing it pulled down over her ears, but you can also kind of sit it atop your head and have it be more flat. And I decided to, because this is also, you can do any yarn weight, and you just figure it out. I didn't do a gauge swatch, so sue me. But I decided to make it out of this yarn. If you remember this past summer, the emergency summer sweater that I always make Hannah every summer was in this red yarn. She had picked it, and it, I made that sleeveless top with a high collar. Do you remember? That it was like ribbed from here down, really cute. So that was, and I had this full ball and another, and I don't know why I decided to open the full ball, because I'm crazy, and because I was like, what if the other one isn't enough? It probably will be, but I started this. Then the difference between this and a regular hat is that this, you do the ribbing on the bottom edge, and then you increase it by double, like a sudden increase. Normally with hats, you cast on the number of stitches that it's going to be for the full head, and then you increase. But this one, it doubles in stitch, and you go basically, so you just knit that largest size, and then you turn it and start to decrease to the crown, and that's what makes you that flat look. And I keep measuring it because it says to knit for 5. This is where I always suffer so much. Like, just knit around until it's 5 inches, and I'm knitting, and I'm like, well, gosh, that's probably 4 inches right there. Nope. I don't know why I always underestimate but this is, so that's why I got my ruler out a second ago. I'm like, am I near 5 inches yet? No, I'm at 3, basically. So I still have 2 more inches. But it's easy, but I still get so impatient. I don't know. So that's my problem. And so that's really all I've been working on. I haven't taken out my other knitting, just because I've been so busy with Christmas and cookie making, and I stayed up 2 nights.
The spread at her house was so
We
good.
had Christmas Eve at my house, and I spent 2 nights baking. One with Eli baking. He made bread.
It was really good.
Wasn't it good bread?
Yeah.
It's cranberry nut bread.
Yeah, I ate it for breakfast the next day.
Yeah, I think everybody did. And then the next night, he and I stayed up all night making cookies. That was the 23rd, and so I didn't get any stitching or knitting done at all. But I did start this because my hands were itching for some knitting, and I thought this would be a nice quick project. And
Relatively brainless project.
Yeah, I imagined myself sending it in the box to Hannah with her gifts. But I forced myself to send that box today without either that stitching or this knitting, because part of me was like, if I conceive that I'm going to include these things, I never will, and the box will languish on my table for forever.
I love the fact that Hannah's gonna get that present and think I sent her a fruitcake.
Oh, yeah. The way Eve's is wrapped, it looks like food.
It looks like a fruitcake, yeah.
But anyway, so this is all I have done. Literally, I just was asked by my aunt to make a sweater for her. So I'm like, don't hold your breath, and it'll come when it comes. But I was like, she's like, I love Eli's sweater. I was like, are you asking me to make you a sweater? She's like, royal blue.
Oh,
Okay.
I had showed last week, I think, the bookmarks that I was working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had realized that the one I had done,
Yeah, it was
I had done off center. Well, so I finished before Christmas, or just the other day. When was it? We went to the movies on Christmas Day, and so I had finished it by then. So I finished the 2 bookmarks, one for my aunt and one for my cousin, and they can fight it out over who gets which. But so the one with that was off center, I just like did a little squiggly line down the side.
You took pictures of it.
To even it out. So I've got some pictures of it on my phone, so I'll include them.
Excuse
But
me.
so I finished them.
Yeah.
So that was my last finish for 2024.
Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, as far as me, that's all I've done. And but yeah, I've got an order for a new sweater. So for the new year. So I was like, well, and I was like, well, I've got 2 other sweaters I need to finish. But anyway, so that's me. Now, question of the week. I'm going to ask that really quickly. Last week was, are you ready? A couple of people said, yes, of course I'm ready. And I was like, so obviously I was not. I was ready. Okay. So, I will tell you the story of how I was not ready, when I made that video, in just a second. But, so the new question of the week is, since the New Year's coming up, is do you do New Year's resolutions? And if you do, what's your number 1 for 25, if you want to share? So I guess we can talk about those next week for us. So that's the question of the week. And now we can go into stories. So the first story I'm going to tell is why I wasn't ready last week, because I was making these.
They're beautiful.
I made 3 of them. I made one for Rachel, which is white, and it has a cutout, a black design of a moon and an owl. It's really cute. And then I included, so I made this one for Beth and that one for Eve, and I included their names on the front. These are Cobalt mini toolboxes that I got at Lowe's. I saw it on a TikTok or whatever, and I showed it to Mark, and I was like, I want to make these. And he's like, that's a great idea. So then I went all over the nation looking for stickers, and I knew I wanted to do an elephant, a flamingo, and an owl. Like it's pretty, it's pretty standard. That's what everybody likes. And I couldn't find. I went to Joann's. I went to Hobby Lobby. I didn't go to Michael's, but I couldn't find any pre-made vinyl stickers. And I was like, why is no one making, like they had small stickers for scrapbooking, but they didn't have anything like
that size.
I mean, I could have found the letters probably. But so I had a friend who used to work at the Symphony, and I emailed her, I texted her, and I was like, do I remember right that you have a Cricut machine? And she's like, yes, I do. And I have 1,000,000 tons of vinyl. What would you like? So I told her, and she had seen this. So she made the, oh, I don't want to scratch up the table.
Yeah.
Oh, the drawers are falling.
That's why Beth
She
and I
made
didn't try to have them at our spots.
Yeah, the top sticker and the corners for each one, and then she also made the name strips. And so these are 2 drawers. I'm watching. These are 2 drawers, a bigger one, and then it's hard to do it this way. A little one, little tray. These are made for men, and all the women in the country have taken over. Well, obviously they made pink ones, so, and then it has a top. This comes all the way flat like this, but you can put, I thought,
Yeah, so that's why I left these out.
yeah.
You can, put little notions or whatever.
Yeah. You put notions in here, or like
Needle minders.
needle minders will stick to this. And I figured, needle minders, needles. So I'm gonna
Corner gauge.
and then
Oh,
scissors, and then all your threads, whatever you need. And so then I made Eve's with the
Just leave it
flamingo
like
and her name, and then like I said, Rachel's is white. And I have a picture. I'll put close-up pictures of all of them here, so you can see them. But we were going to get together on Thursday before we recorded last week, and there was something that happened. Oh, it was our Christmas party, because she works very close to me in the city, but we were having our Christmas party, so we couldn't do it Thursday. And I said, "What about Friday?" She goes, "That's our Christmas party." So we couldn't get together then, and then over the weekend was out of town. And I was off on Monday the 23rd, and she's like, "What about Monday?" And I said, "That's fine. Whenever. You can meet, I will meet you." So we went and had lunch. It was very nice, and she gave me those. So Monday, when I should have been cleaning the house, making cookies, setting up the table, I was doing this.
You were doing that and picking up Mary Lou from the airport.
Yeah. And so the problem too was this is shiny. The black is shiny vinyl. This one is matte. And Nicole and I think that that's why this happened. But that black shiny vinyl bubbled, and I tried and tried and tried. I sat
It's
there
not bad.
forever. And Rachel's is worse. But Rachel, I told her, I told them both, if the bubbles, if you hate them, if it starts to affect how it's sticking, Nicole said she would make them again and make them in matte, like matte black like this, and that it probably would be better. But both of them were like, "It looks fine, it's fine." So I was like, because when you make something and you see a mistake in it, you will have to point it out, and you have to be like, "I'm sorry." But both Eve and Rachel were like, "It's totally fine."
So I'm like, bubble?
So, anyway, so that was what I was doing quite late. And then they were sitting there because they were so heavy. I was afraid to wrap them because I was like, they're going to poke through whatever I wrap them in. I told Mark, would it be weird to just put bow on them and hide them in another room and then walk in with them? And he goes, "Yes, that would be weird." Oh, fine. And I'm like, "What do you know about Christmas?" But anyway, my mom did that kind of stuff all the time. But I wrapped them, and it was very hard to wrap because, like, you can't wrap it on carpet, right? Because it'll sink in and rip the paper. So I had to wrap them on my. But I wrapped them on Christmas Eve, a half hour before you showed up.
It was like Tim's present. You wrapped it in the.
I wrapped it So my brother's present, I wrapped early. I bought his present early, and I wrapped it and put it under the thing. And my cat, as you know, Hobbs, has a thing with paper. Wool and paper are his things, and he decided to bite the side. There's little bite marks, and then he also bit the corner and ripped the corner, and it was a shirt, and he pulled the corner of the shirt out. And I'm like, do I rewrap it? Do I just give it to him? So I was like, "Here, Tim, my cat tried to open your present." But then Mark had wrapped something and left a roll of wrapping paper by the fireplace. Mm-hmm. You know how when you just leave it, it's kind of loose. Uh-huh. Well, when I went to wrap these, there was a little bite mark. And then, so here's another story.
That's how I pick pieces of paper with hole punches.
I know. And when I was baking, I made 3 different kinds of cookies. I made, first I made the dough. I thought I was way ahead of it. On the 22nd, that's Monday, right? No.
Yeah.
On Sunday, the 22nd, I made the dough of the sour cream cookies and refrigerated it, thinking that on Monday, when I was off all day, I'm going to stand around and make cookies. Didn't happen. So on Monday, and then Monday night, I can't remember now. No. on Sunday and Monday, we made Eli's breads. Because I wanted to wait till the last minute so that they were fresher, right? And then on Sunday, no, that's right. On Sunday night, I made the dough. And then Monday night, we started baking because I needed them done by Christmas Eve, right? So Monday night, I started with the spritz cookies because that's like make it, bake it right there. Then I took out the refrigerated dough and did the sour cream cookies. And that takes a long time because as soon as that dough warms up, it gets horribly sticky. So I would roll it between the parchment paper and throw it in the freezer. And then I'd pull it out of the freezer and you could work with it again. So that took me forever. And then I really wanted to make biscochitos, and that is pretty quick to make the dough, although it's 6.5 cups of flour.
It makes a lot of cookies.
It's a lot. And
that's why toward the end, Mom would just get the dough and go like that.
I know, that's how it was. So at 5 o'clock, Eli's like, I think I'm gonna go lie down. I'm like, go ahead. And I was up till 6:30 finishing that dough because there was just so much dough. And it's a nice stiff dough, and it's
You make gigantic cookies.
I did make a few big ones, but
What do you want?
but they came out really good actually. I think it's the best batch of biscochitos I've ever made, which are almost gone. And then
I don't know if I even had any of those.
well, that's your fault. I'm not making them again for another year,
Yeah.
so don't even ask. That's not true. I'll probably make them again. But anyway, at 6:30, I finally finished that last batch. So that's why, yeah, everything was just a mess. Everything was, but it was fun. It was good. But so I'm calling this as you noticed by the title, New Year, New Bag, because bags were a theme.
Yeah, it was.
Bags were a theme.
She did not want to get down.
So my brother, well, first I'm going to talk about this bag that my son gave me. Eli ordered this for me. It looks like a regular backpack, right? But it's actually a knitting bag. It has like pockets and spaces for your needles, and it's got yarn holes on the side, like if you wanted to put yarn in there and pull it out the side and knit with it. And so, because he's like, and see, it has like, it's got pockets on the inside so you can put things. It's a perfect knitting bag. Because he told me, he's like, every week you go to each and you have this bag for that and this little bag here. And he goes, I got you this so you can put all your projects in when you go to Eve and Beth's house to record. So, say I have my cross stitch stuff in here. And so it's really big. And it's, yeah, I can put multiple projects in here.
Yeah.
And so even I'm thinking for travel, is I can put my regular travel stuff, because I take a big backpack with me when I travel.
A tablet fits in there easy.
Yeah. It doesn't have a tablet sleeve. That's the only thing.
but
it would fit.
It would fit.
My iPad would fit in here. My Remarkable would fit in here. And it's got a clear pocket on the back underneath, and it's got one of those things for the handle of your big suitcase.
Oh yeah, to stick it on the.
Slide it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really nice. So that's one bag, and then my brother gave us all bags. Now it's a funny story because Eve opened. Where's yours?
It's right here. Yeah, it's here. No, it's in my room.
Oh.
I thought you had one over here.
No,
I thought it's there.
I have a lot of bags here, okay?
Because you got a bunch of bags.
Because I got a lot of bags.
So yeah, that's the one.
And then I already had bags.
My brother gave this one to eat. That one.
Notice
to eat.
it's already full.
Yeah. And then gave this one to Beth, and then gave this one to me. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, "This is gorgeous."
Yeah, because she opened it before I opened that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I thought you had already opened it.
I was in the process of trying to open it.
Yeah. So we all kind of opened at the same time, but I saw this and I was like, "This is beautiful," but we all know who needs this bag. So after we all opened presents, I went up to Tim and I was like, "Tim, would your feelings be hurt if Beth and I switched bags, because she loves elephants?" And he's like, oh, I was trying to remember. So what had happened was he bought these 2 bags, which are similar. They're very, oh, mine zipped shut. They're like rounded on the bottom. They're like, you saw how full Eve's was. And,
You wouldn't believe the stuff I was able to get in it.
yeah, so it's got like a round.
I
this is
took
the
half of
bottom.
it out right
It's like
now.
an ovalish round bottom. So he found these 2 bags and wanted a third one because he wanted to get, you know, the 3 little pigs, all the same thing. And they didn't have a third one. And then he found this. So then he said, I just thought of you in the order you were born, Eve, Beth, me. So he gave me the odd one. But he's like, no, that's fine. So I went to Beth and I was like, do you want to trade bags? She's like, yeah.
Because I saw her open it and I was like, oh.
I didn't even see either of those bags.
Yeah.
I saw Beth's because she was
But
near
yours
me.
fits you so well. I don't know. I feel like yours fits you really well.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
very
mean,
tropical looking.
Yeah.
It isn't tropical, it's more...
And I really dig this.
Something
This is
else.
really cool color.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the year of the bags, but this is really nice too. This is like, I think like all my wool, like wool storage is gonna be fun with that. So
Yeah.
it's, and then you got another beautiful bag from Peyton, right? I really like that
Okay,
one.
so...
And you got another bag.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that other?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
That's from
canvas?
Beth. Okay, but
Oh.
this, my brother's girlfriend gave me
No.
this.
Son,
Your
your
son's
son's girlfriend.
My son's girlfriend. I'm sorry. I'm always messing things up. It's got a large pocket on this side. It's got kitty cats all over it. It's got a pocket here. It's got a
Is that
this
very
is
rounded?
zipper. Yes.
Oh, nice.
This is zipper. This is zipper. Right inside. It's got other little pockets,
Let me see it. I didn't get to see it.
and it's got kitty cats.
Oh, that's so cute.
But Beth gave me this bag.
Oh my gosh. Oh, whale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
And the crabby crab. I just blankety blank love the ocean.
And then it says protect what you
Oh,
love.
that's cute.
Yeah.
But then look at the whale.
Bags, bags, and more bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I did all my shopping at the Mutts online store.
That's
I
cute.
bought all kinds of
but
Mutts.
I'm like,
So, new year, new bag.
do I need this as a purse, or do I want to use it for something else?
Well, you could throw your wallet in and take your projects and something, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, that's fun. So that was a fun. And oh yeah, I wanted to show this. Rachel gave me this blanket. It's just a girl who loves llamas, and then it's got a bunch of llama things all around. So cute. Another whoopee. This will be good for my stitching chair. Cause I always get cold there, even in the summer. I need to. I don't know why this is hurting me.
Oh.
Oh, my arm hurts. Sorry. And she also made these beautiful bookmarks for all of us. Rachel made these
Yeah,
With her-
mine's in my room.
with her
But,
diamond
yeah.
painting skills,
Mm.
her patience. She's so patient.
Yeah.
She does.
I almost bought myself a snowman diamond painting, and
so
I
pretty.
thought I could have Rachel show me how to do it. I mean, I don't imagine it's that difficult. I just know she knows how to do it
Yeah.
really well.
Mhm.
And I was like, I really want that. Yeah, I'm shopping for other people. I can't.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So we all each have one of those.
Each have one of those, and it was fun. It was a good Christmas.
Yeah.
And I just sent my daughter's box off with a.
Oh, and I won the little trivia contest.
Oh yeah, we had a Christmas Carol like it was like funny phrases, and you're supposed to recognize the Christmas Carol
Yeah.
from it. It was pretty hard. There were some
It was
that were
very hard.
but that was a lot of fun, and we ate a lot of food, and it was good. It was good, a good time.
Yeah.
But okay, so what happened to me this week?
I have a story.
Okay, you tell
Well,
your story.
technically, it's Beth and I. Were you
Oh,
this
okay.
last week?
Huh?
No, we were
About
telling the one
Dutch?
about the girl who went out the wrong way against the
Oh,
traffic.
yeah.
Okay,
This is
so
another traffic story.
well, technically it's not. Now,
Yeah, no.
those of you who live near a Dutch Brothers understand, but Starbucks does not come anywhere close to the kind of lines that Dutch Brothers have. Dutch Brothers lines are so long that many businesses around there get annoyed with their traffic. And they don't have, some of them have insides, most of them have where you can park and come up and order at a window, but mostly it's drive-through. And the one that's across the street from us has 2 lanes that go into one. So when you pick up your drink, it's one. And they often just go down the line and get your order.
And then you zip her in.
Right. Ours has 2 lines that go around in a circle, basically, so that you can get as many cars in a small an area as possible. And Beth and I had been getting what we were going to take to the Christmas party. And so we had groceries, refrigerated groceries. As I said, it hasn't been cold, okay, in the car. And I said, you know, I think I've earned a free Dutch. Why don't we stop at Dutch? She goes, yeah, I can get a free Dutch too. And so the shortest line had 1 car in it, which is extremely unusual. And I pulled in behind that car, and it was letting all the other cars in the other lane go first.
Yeah, the other lane had like maybe 4 cars or something.
And I'm like, what the heck? And I, you know, because you're supposed to go, you know, one after the other if there's not a person out there. And a person came out and was taking orders from the other line, and then they came out to this car who had finally moved up after everybody over there. After everybody over there had gone, right? And I saw her just talking and talking and talking and laughing and talking and I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? And then I'm like, she had her money thing just dangling and she wasn't using it. And then she got the tablet back from the person. So she handed them the tablet for the order, right? And didn't take any money for it. So I'm like, oh, I see. They know them well. So maybe it was a previous employee that they hadn't seen for a while. I have no idea. Now, I have to preface this by saying that everybody that I've encountered at that Dutch is always pleasant, cheerful, helpful. They are nice people. But I was starting to get a little hot, you know. And then they took our order, and I said, you know, this isn't okay. We've been sitting here. And she said, oh, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. You're right. I shouldn't have done that. And she took our order.
And the guy finally moved up.
But she took our order, and she went on to take orders of the cars behind us, who had stacked up. Why? Because he wasn't moving, right? And finally he moved up to the window, and she's leaning on the counter, just laughing and giggling and laughing. And somebody brings me my drink. And I think they're at the window, they're gonna go. So I didn't say anything to this girl right away. And then they came out to give Beth her drink, and they still hadn't moved.
Were you like second in line from the window?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he was just sitting there, sitting in the window, there blabbing at the window.
And she came back out with 2 more drinks for somebody behind us. Mm-hmm. And I stopped her, or maybe it was when they gave Beth.
No, it was
a third trip out, right? So I said, this is not okay. You know, we've been sitting here waiting to leave. And And she's
because once you're in the drive-through, you're trapped.
Yeah.
right.
Because you can't get out. You
So
can't get past them.
she said, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I understand." And I'm like, "Do you? Do you really?" No. So she was gonna go take those drinks, and I said, "No, you don't understand. I want to leave now.
Yeah.
I had my drinks, and they are not waiting for a drink." Because at first I thought maybe they were,
Yeah.
but they're not waiting for a
After
drink.
all that time.
They're just talking. And so she went up and they finally stepped out of the way. Now, this particular Dutch has an inside. And if it was a previous employee, they know that.
Yeah.
If they wanted to sit and yammer, they could have parked and gone inside.
Yep.
But no, instead they blocked traffic. and any one of those employees should have said, "Hey man, we really want to visit you but we have a lot of cars. Why don't you go inside and we'll talk?" No. And I was a little Karenish, I know. I wasn't rude until when I'm like, "No, I want to go now."
Yeah. That's
Right?
crazy.
So
It was Christmas Eve?
Monday, maybe?
Oh.
No, I don't think it was Christmas Eve.
I think it might have been Saturday.
No, it was either Sunday or Monday.
Because we went to buy the stuff.
On Sunday,
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Sunday afternoon.
I guess. But we had things to do. It wasn't like, "Oh, this is the only thing we have to do today is wait for Dutch,"
Well,
Because I'm not.
I'll say the thing that
17.
bothered me was that nobody could leave.
Yeah.
If somebody's standing up there at the counter of a restaurant and you go up to the counter or you're whatever, that's different. But the fact that we were stuck behind him in the
Yeah.
drive-through, and the drive-through thing where you go to pay, there's only one little slot.
It didn't
And you
help.
can,
It didn't help that we had our drinks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't waiting to be able to drink my drink.
Yeah.
I want to drink my drink at home,
Yeah.
Anyway, my son's like, you complain too much about too little. And I'm like, you may have nothing to do, but that's not me, right? And I sent an email. And at the beginning of the email and at the end of the email, I said, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. These are great kids. They're great employees. But this isn't okay.
Yeah.
This is not okay. Because I said, we go there pretty close to every day, or at least I do, because Robert loves Dutch. But I'm like, this is not the way you behave. They gave me a free Dutch, which is fine, I guess. And she said she was going to send it. I didn't complain because I wanted free food.
Right.
I complained because I learned, having worked in the food business and other businesses, that for every person that complains, there are 100 that are mad and never come back. And a business needs to know, because the owner's not sitting there yammering, and they certainly wouldn't if they saw a whole line of people. The person that was hanging out the door talking to that person had to have seen how many cars had backed up.
Yeah.
And they need to know.
Or the people delivering drinks, like, hey, we got to clear these cars out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if there were another way out, if you could just, peel off and go somewhere.
All they had to do was go around and park and.
Yeah.
And so
But the fact that we were all trapped there.
I said, I don't want to get them in trouble. It's not like that. Some people, I'm going to get you. No, no, I don't want any of that. They're all good kids. They work hard. They're pleasant, and they do their job. And 99.9% of the time, you get exactly what you ordered. That day, Beth didn't. They told me they were going to forward it to the franchise owner for that particular one. And Robert goes, so now I can't go back to Dutch again? I'm like,
Yes, you can.
I'm sorry. They don't know they might know that it was me, but there's so many customers, they couldn't possibly remember precisely which car. But even if they do, I didn't say anything ugly about them other than this should not have happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was pretty disappointed in that behavior, because normally I'm very happy.
I had to report somebody, and I don't complain too often, and I don't everything. But I was at Fry's, and I was behind a young woman, and she had this kind of a funny order in her basket. Well, the first thing I saw, I didn't notice the weird part. The first thing I saw was a bag of red chili, dried red chili, and I was like, ooh. I said, ooh, what are you making? Well, so I was thinking like pozole or something like that, because it's Christmas time. And she goes, oh, it's an Instacart order. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I looked at her cart. She had like 30 gallons of milk in her cart. And I was like, oh, I said, I said, that must be for a restaurant or something. She goes, yeah, I think my last stop is at a restaurant. Or because she goes, I think it is because it's like it was like a strip mall. And they said they'd be out to help. They'd meet me outside. And she goes, I'm glad, because I don't want to drag all these 30 gallons of milk in or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, what's it like working for Instacart, blah, blah, blah. And so we talked for a little while. And then she checked out and left. And then I checked out, and we walked outside. So it was, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. And as we're walking outside, I see her in the handicap stall. And I was like, okay, that's not cool. I mean, maybe she has a tag, but probably not. And so I went down. Now we didn't. My son has a tag, but we didn't park there because it was busy, and there was no spots left. It's fine, but we parked, further down the road. So it really bothered me. It kind of rankled me. Like, I know you have a big order, but
It's not delivery.
It's not short-term parking.
No.
No,
and then but when we walked by, the trunk of her car was up, and that's where her license plate was. So I couldn't see if she had a tag or not. And so I also wondered if she had one on her mirror, right? Because I don't want to be a jerk if she really has a tag. So I walked down the center of the row till I could see her car, and no, she didn't have a tag. And then she had had California plates, so she had a front plate. So it was not a handicap tag. So I was like, so I took down the license number, and I thought about it until we got to the next door. I was looking for lard, by the way, for the biscuititos, and our fries was out of lard, and all the other fries were out of lard, and I had to go to the foreign land of Safeway. If you guys shop at Safeway, I'm glad for you, but it's like a foreign land. But anyway, it's like, I guess I have to go to Safeway. But anyway, so I thought about it, and finally I called, because I have an Instacart account, and I looked in my account, and there was nowhere to message or anything. So I called, and I told them, this is what I witnessed. Here's her license number. She was at this store at this time. She checked out probably a minute or two prior. You could tell they would be able to find her. And I was just like, that's illegal actually, and not cool. And so I feel like, because it took me a long time to decide to say something, but I was like,
you should say, I have a disabled son who
Right.
could not park there because.
I told them that. I said it was full. And, I'm not going to throw a fit. And I surely wasn't going to walk up to her and confront her like I've seen so many people do.
Yeah, it's not our place.
But I was like, Instacart should know, and they should tell their drivers to not be doing that.
DoorDash drivers do it all the time.
People are watching.
Yeah, I was going to say that, there's been one occasion at least when Eve and I went to go eat at like it was some Mexican restaurant.
It was the one over there
And-
near Panda on
There-
Ray
but-
and the
There used
freeway.
to, but there used to
It's
be
not there
like a Panera restaurant, next to it,
Uh-huh.
and that restaurant was closed, and so some workmen were in there renovating the restaurant, the restaurant space, and so they had parked they had like a pickup truck with whatever stuff to work on the restaurant. They had parked it in the handicap zone because there was a ramp there, I guess, and
Yeah.
or whatever, and and it was
Well, they
convenient
probably
to the
figured if
store.
it was closed.
And, I mean, no, the handicap
The
ramp was
Mexican
in front
business
of,
next door wasn't
Oh,
closed.
yeah, the handicap space was in front of the Mexican
Oh,
restaurant,
yeah.
and the Panera thing they're working
The
on was,
restaurant's closed now. I'm sad about it.
yeah, and so
What is?
Los Taquitos.
Oh,
so
I don't
yeah,
think it is here.
so we
That
so
was-
Eve was like, you can't park there, or I think she took the people in the Mexican
I told the
restaurant.
people in the restaurant,
Yeah.
either you go and tell them to move, or I'll call the cops and have them move, because that's not okay. Because Beth needs the ramp, and back then she needed it even more, and she needs it now, and it's not okay. And one time I had Mom and Dad in the car. I think Mom was wanting to get her hair done, and the place where she liked to go was very close to a Fry's store, and there was a lady parked over the ramp at the one close to the haircut place. Fry's has tons of handicap parking.
Yeah.
But the one close to the haircut place is within walking distance of Fry's. And she was parked over the ramp.
In between the spaces.
Yeah, so I parked beside it, like this, and Mom got out and Dad helped her get up the step. So she couldn't go up the ramp. She had to get up the step with a walker. And
Unfortunately, she wasn't in a wheelchair.
fortunately, yeah, or somebody who needs,
Right.
who has a wheelchair, thingy coming out and all that. And so
It's just
I
shocking
was-
that in this day and age, like you would think that by now everyone would be aware of this. Everyone would be aware
So,
of
well, they're aware, they just don't
courtesy
care.
and- No, that's
So-
what I'm saying.
So I went to park the car, and when I was coming back, there was a lady loading groceries in her car. I said, "That's a handicap spot. You cannot park over that ramp." "Well, I'm handicapped. I have a placard." I said, "I don't care. You can't park over the ramp. That's not a parking space. That's a ramp. Hello?" And she was putting her groceries in, and later on I was able to park and Mom could go down the ramp. But I was like, why would you park over the ramp?
Especially if you need the space and you know better. You should know better.
Yeah, and at restaurants it's
other
particularly
people.
bad, DoorDash drivers and whatever,
Yeah.
parking there like it's short-term
Like it's a
parking.
loading zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so what happened to me? I went to work. So the day after Christmas, the 26th, because I was off Monday, I was scheduled to work. I didn't want to take extra. I should just take more days off. But anyway, I worked on Thursday, the day after Christmas, and there were a total of 6 of us in the office, but 2 on my side, 1 on the other side, and then the 3 box office people. So it was a ghost town, ghost town. And my office mate who was on my side with me left early, and then the box office closed down. Well, I think the person on the other side left a little bit early, and then left a little bit early, and then the box office closed, right on time. And I was there finishing up a few things, and getting my stuff together. And I have a backpack similar to this that I use for work, and I put it on my shoulder, and whenever I do that, I oftentimes forget my purse. And so I put the backpack on, and I have my lunch bag, and I got all my junk, and I keep my purse in a different drawer, and I have this big cabinet thing, and I keep my purse in its own drawer. I don't know why. That's just what I do. My lunch goes here, my purse goes here, my backpack's usually just on the chair because it's big. That's why these problems happen. So in our building, after 4:30, the elevators work to go down, but you cannot get up in the building without your key card. Where do I keep my key card? I keep my key card in my purse. Now you see where I'm going here? And normally it's okay because almost 100% of the time, at least our CEO will be there till God knows when he leaves. And then there's usually many people working past 5:30, 5 o'clock, whatever. And this was like 5:15-ish. So every soul in our office was gone, except for the cleaning ladies. And they're there every day. They wait for us to leave around 5 o'clock. They start to hover outside, and then they come in. So I knew they were there. But so I go down the elevator. I go out the building, and one of our security guards that used to be there all the time, she would usually be there past 5. And so if you did something stupid like I did, she would let you back in. But they transferred her to another position. And so lately we have not had a guard there in the evening.
That doesn't sound nice.
I know. So I walk out the door, which is also key carded once you get out. And I walk down, and I'm walking in front of those little restaurants we have here, and I was like, I don't have my purse. I say a few bad words, and then I go into the restaurant at the Desmond, and I was like, I work upstairs. Do any of you have an elevator card? And the guy behind the bar is like, I don't think so, but I'll ask. And he goes, well, let's try the freight elevator. And I was like, because I knew that those restaurants go through like this. And you get through, and you're in the back of the building, and then there's a door into the lobby. Now, sometimes that door into the lobby is closed and locked, but there's a code to get up. So we go back to the freight elevator, and I'm like, okay, we call it. It opens. Nope, it also has a key card.
I thought you were going to get one of those alien monsters in there.
So yeah. And so he asks because the two restaurants are owned by the same people. They don't have key cards to get upstairs. Nobody. So I'm like, okay. And then I go to look, and that door that's usually locked into the lobby was open. So I'm like, well, at least I can get into the lobby. So I get there, and I'm like, and I call my colleague who had been there, and she lives sort of close, but not super close. And she's like, I'm already home, but let me know, and if you need help. In other words, I don't want to come.
Yeah.
Save your stupid butt. But let me know if I have to, right? So more power to her. I didn't want her to have to come. And so, okay, on the desk, there's a little phone number, and it says, I'm away from my desk. If you need me, call this number. And I'm like, okay. So I call the number, leave a message. Because nobody answers the number. And I call the number again, and while I'm calling it again, a guy comes out of the elevator, and I'm like, wait. Can you buzz me up to 2? I said, I work at the Symphony, blah, blah, blah. So he tried, and now usually during the day, to get to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you have to have a card that goes to those floors. But to get to 2, everyone, regardless, during the day, can get to 2 without a card, because we service the public, and people come and buy their tickets. So you can always get to 2. So these guys would swipe and hit 2, and it wouldn't go because it was after 4:30. I'm like, thanks for trying. And I call Mark, and I'm so upset, and I'm like, well, I guess you could just come down here and bring me your key to my car and I'll just go home. And I'll leave my purse here. I'm coming back in the morning, you know, like, it's fine. I was so angry and so upset. And he goes, well, let me know. And then I emailed, it also says, you know, hello at, you know, so I emailed them and I'm like, I need help right now, thinking that somebody would check it, maybe, I don't know. And I called the number a third time, and then I was texting with my colleague who lives kind of nearby. And she goes, this is why I want us to have our cards on our phone. And I went, wait a minute. Because a long time ago, we were split. Some of us were on the second floor, and some of the symphony were on the fifth floor because we were expanding. We hadn't moved yet to the other side where we are now. And the person I was working with up on the fifth floor was like, she wanted the key card on her phone, which some people do. They have an app and they swipe their phone. And she wanted that done, so they helped her get it on her phone. And I was like, I want that. So the guy said, okay, I'm going to send you this email, and you click on that, you know, you download the app, you click on the email, and it gets you set up. And I was like, great. So and when she said that, I remembered that back in those days I had done that. So I was like, what's that app called? What's that app called? And I looked it up and found it. So I opened it, and it said disabled. And I was like, oh. And it said, like, credentials, like out of, like, need, you know, update credentials. So I just clicked it, and it said updated. I was like, well, what's it gonna hurt? So I went and tried it, and it worked. I was so happy. And the cleaning, because I knew the cleaning ladies were there, but nobody in my office that was available had their numbers or names or anything. And there was no way, like, what, I throw stones at the window right there in the lobby, because you can see our windows, but they're frosted, so no one can see me, right? So I'm just like, how do I get hold? They're right there. They can come down and get me up. Anyway, I was like, I guess I can wait here till the cleaning ladies come down when they're done at 9 o'clock at night or whatever. Anyway, so I finally got up, and I walk in, and they're like, hi, and I get my stuff, and come down, and I'm just was like so mad at myself. But and then the next morning I got a nice email from the building people. Sorry, next time maybe we can put it on your phone. I'm like,
So
already got it. Thanks.
When I was supervising over at CPIS, you know, people would do the run for taking people home, and they would get back close to 5 o'clock, and I would have left at 3 or 3:30, right?
Yeah.
I'd be home chilling, get a phone call. My keys are locked in I don't have my keys are locked in the building. I said, you knew you were leaving. Why didn't you take your keys with you? It happened, I don't know, once a week, and I had to drive back over there and let them in. You know, because there wasn't anybody else to call.
Right.
Well,
that's what I was going to tell my CEO came back on Friday, and I meant to tell him, I'm really disappointed in you, because if you had been here yesterday, you could have saved me.
when I the last few years I lived in Little Rock, I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield offices downtown, and you had to pay for parking everywhere downtown, and when I first started there, the cheapest parking I could find was in this building, like a couple of blocks away, a few blocks away, but it was the Enterprise Rent-A-Car on one part of it, and it was kind of like an old-fashioned, I don't know, two or three story building, because like on the bottom floor and I guess down into the basement was some kind of like an auto body shop, I guess. Oh, maybe it was part of the Enterprise thing. Maybe I think it was a separate business. I don't know. But then upstairs there was a tiny little area of parking for like maybe I don't know, 20 cars or something. It was, just a like two lanes of cars could park up there. But, you had to go drive up the little ramp, and then to get out, to walk out of there was a rickety little staircase, metal staircase on one side. So you have to go up there and park, and then come down this little rickety staircase, walk out of the garage of this rent-a-car place, and then walk across 2 blocks to the office. But the problem was that business closed at like 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. But when I worked at the office, a lot of times I would work late because I would, just finishing up and making up time because I was late to work, whatever, But this particular night, I was working. I don't remember if I had taken a day off and I was trying to make up some hours or something like that. And I realized I was sitting there working, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's 6 o'clock and the garage is going to close. And I was leaving at that time anyway, and my boss was still there, and she was on her way out, and so I was like begging her, could you please give me a ride over to the garage, because it's by the time I walk over there, and I was afraid they were going to close, and my car would be locked up, overnight or whatever. And I mean, theoretically, I could have walked home, but it was like a mile, and so I got her car, and the thing is that she was parked like attached to the office building across the street was a parking garage, and but it was only for like for I guess full-time employees or whatever, real employees, and I wasn't a real employee. But so there's like a little pedestrian bridge, from building to the parking building. And so we walked over there, and I got in the car, and then but with the parking garage, you're going around like this or whatever, and it comes out of a different, and it's like, I was so confused, like, I don't know where we are. It was like trying to get back to the parking garage. But so finally we went over there, and as I walked up to the building, the garage was still open, and the attendant guy was like, oh, I knew your car was still in there, so I was keeping it open for you.
That's nice.
Thank you.
So, very recently, I had to have work done on the car. And I was paying, they had a lift bring me home, and when it was time to go, they had a lift take me back. But the guy was there, immediately. And I was running out the door and forgot my purse. And I realized as I was getting out over there that I didn't have my purse with me. I was like, oh. Now, they had my car keys, right? And fortunately, I was paying through an app on my phone.
Oh, nice.
So technically, I was fine. But I'm like, I better drive as safely as I ever had, because I drove home like a scofflaw. I was like, I don't have a purse.
Well, in Arizona, you have time to show your license if you don't have it. So.
Yeah, I know, but still, I always marvel at people who get stopped and they're like, oh, my driver's license is at home. Real casual, like, I'm like,
I know.
Really? It would freak me out.
One time,
I don't have it.
One time because when I go to the symphony, like if I go as an attendee, I have to take if I'm working, I can take my regular purse, but if I go as an attendee, I take a clear bag the way you're supposed to, and I put my essential wallet items in a little tiny wallet that I throw in there. And then I think it was the next day, I went to work, and I went to go get something for lunch, and I was like, ew, I have no debit card. I have no license. I have no insurance cards. They're all in my clear bag at home. Whoops. Drove all the way here, scofflaw. But, well, we better go. Okay, yes. So remember how last week I said on Saturday morning I woke up terrified that I had forgotten to make the video and that it was Saturday morning already. I mean, that it was Sunday morning already and I had forgotten to make the video. Well, I went home and went to make the video because I always, for some reason, I don't know why, I start editing this thing at night because I'm like, okay, I'll get to it, but like I have to actually sit still and have time to like go through it, right, and put in all the pictures. And there was 1 million pictures last week looking at you, Eve. And usually it's you, Beth. I'm like, here's one picture for me, and like here's 50. Anyway, so I started kind of late, my fault. But then I fell asleep, and I woke up and realized this video is going to be late because it was because usually I have it set to come out at 5 a.m. right, Arizona time. And it was past that. If any of you were waiting at 5 a.m. last week, you noticed that it was not out. But anyway, so we better go so that I can have a decent shot at getting this done before 5 a.m.
Yes.
on Sunday. And but we hope that you have had fun doing your after Christmas stitching with us and getting ready for your new year. Let us know if you do resolutions, and if you do, what's your number one? I can't even answer that question right now. I have to think about it. But we hope that you have a wonderful and safe and happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and we will see you next week. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.